Okay, so we're diving into the Millionaire Fastlane today.
Right.
It seems like you're maybe feeling like the typical advice
Yeah.
isn't really vibing with what you want.
Mhm.
And this book you flagged for us
Yeah.
really seems to challenge that whole like slow and steady approach.
Yeah, it throws out the playbook.
So we're going to break down the core ideas here,
Absolutely.
see what really hits home for you and your own journey.
Yeah, and what's interesting is this book, The Millionaire Fastlane,
Yeah.
really positions itself as this like rebellion against the whole get rich slow philosophy.
Right, like the decades of just grinding away.
Yeah, exactly. Like saving every penny,
Yeah.
relying on the stock market.
Right, and then hoping that by the time you're like 65, you can finally enjoy it.
Totally.
So instead, it's pushing this fast lane idea
Yeah, entrepreneurship is the key.
where you can build serious wealth way faster.
Way faster.
And the author uses like his own stories and experiences
Yeah.
to lay out these principles.
That's the roadmap.
A roadmap to get there.
It is.
So the book starts off with this super vivid story
Oh, yeah?
about a Lamborghini.
Right. The Lamborghini prophecy.
And so how did that like set the stage for this whole idea of rejecting the slow approach?
It's really fascinating,
Yeah.
Sometimes just one encounter can completely change how you see things,
I know, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the author's a teenager. He sees this Lamborghini,
Uh-huh.
and he goes up to the owner like, what do you do?
Bold move.
I know, right? I guess like, I'm an inventor.
Whoa.
And for the author, it was like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
It totally shattered this idea that you had to grind for decades to be wealthy,
Totally.
right? It planted this seeds like, I want wealth now, not when I'm 60.
Right now, yeah.
So think about it for you. What's
Yeah.
been that moment?
Yeah.
That moment that made you question everything you thought you knew about building wealth?
That's a good question to think about.
It is, because that could be the first step in this whole exploration.
Okay, so the author obviously becomes a huge critic of the whole get rich slow idea.
Yeah, huge.
So what are the big problems he sees with that traditional path?
Okay, so the book doesn't hold back at all.
Okay.
It straight up says,
Mm-hmm.
get rich slow is a weak strategy
Okay.
because it demands decades of your life working for someone else.
Working for the man.
Yeah, and you're totally at the mercy of Wall Street
Uh-huh.
and the slow crawl of time.
It's like you're giving up your best years
Exactly.
for a future that might not even be that great.
Yeah, it might not even be what you wanted.
Like you might not even be healthy enough
Exactly.
to enjoy it all by then.
Right.
Right.
So he calls it a dirty, rotten alley.
Ooh.
This road to wealth that's just way too dependent on things outside your control.
And a huge time commitment.
Yeah, a lifetime, basically.
Okay, so early on the book kind of lays out like a cheat sheet
Right.
of the big differences
Yeah.
between Fastlane and Get Rich Slow.
Right up front.
What are those?
Okay, so those early chapters highlight some really key contrasts.
Okay.
Like, get rich slow pretty much chains you to working for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So your income, your wealth, it all depends on their decision.
It's yours.
Not yours. It's like your whole financial future
Yeah.
is tied to the stock market roller coaster.
And those tiny gains over like forever.
Decades, right. And maybe the most important difference.
Yeah.
It delays the real enjoyment of your wealth
Like way later.
until you're practically ancient.
Yeah.
Fastlane flips the script completely.
Okay, so we're going to get to that.
Where?
But first, the book lays out these 3 distinct financial roadmaps.
Like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane.
Right.
So let's start with the sidewalk.
Okay.
What's going on over there?
So the sidewalk, it's all about instant gratification.
Okay.
Zero thought for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically financially irresponsible.
Living for the moment.
Right, like whatever you make, you spend it.
Yellow.
And the only way they see themselves getting rich is pure luck.
The lottery.
Lottery inheritance, something like that.
Finding $1 million on the street.
Right, it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
The book calls it living at the financial red line.
Ooh.
No safety net whatsoever.
Living on the edge.
Always one step away from disaster.
But even on the sidewalk, people have their own definition of rich, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Like, it's not always about the money.
Exactly.
Right.
The book says for a lot of people on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
rich is about their relationships.
Okay.
Strong family, close community.
Makes sense.
It's about sharing their life with people they love.
Yeah, making a difference in their little corner of the world.
It's a different set of priorities,
For sure.
even if they're not rolling in dough.
Okay, so that's the sidewalk.
Rick.
Now let's head over to the slow lane,
Okay.
which the book calls like the most common path.
The road most traveled.
Yeah. So what's the deal there?
So the slow lane, it's the path we're all basically programmed to follow.
Yeah.
Get a good education, find a stable job,
Climb the ladder.
work your butt off,
Yeah.
save some money,
401k.
invest in your retirement accounts, IRAs, all that.
Yeah.
And the big thing here, the thing the book really pushes back against
Yeah.
is time.
Okay.
Time is the boss in the slow lane.
Okay.
Controls everything.
So you're saying it's like you're trading your time
You're selling your time.
for money.
Yeah. 5 days of work for 2 days of freedom.
A classic 5 for 2.
And your income is always limited.
By how many hours you can work.
By the hour, by the year.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
stuck. It's a cage.
And the book is pretty harsh on the whole compound interest thing too, right?
Oh yeah, he rips that idea apart.
Really?
He's like, you really think compound interest is going to make you rich?
After like 40 years in the market or whatever.
Right. He's like, what about inflation?
Yeah.
Taxes market crashes.
Yeah, it could all go poop. Yeah, you could be waiting till you're 90 to see any real money.
And then you're too old to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Right.
You're sipping margaritas with your walker.
So he uses that example of investing in the S&P 500 back in 1940 to show how long it takes to see any real gains.
Right, it's a long game.
Way too long.
And he points out this funny thing.
What's that?
These financial gurus who preach the slow lane, but they got rich doing something totally different.
Like what?
We'll take Suze or Double Dad Robert.
Okay.
They built their fortunes on entrepreneurship, writing books, giving seminars.
Building their brand.
Exactly.
So it's like, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing.
It makes you wonder, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do they actually follow their own advice?
I mean, good for them, but...
Yeah, but what about everyone else?
Right.
And it's not just the slow pace.
Okay.
The book lays out these 7 dangers of the slow lane.
Oh, boy.
Things you can't control at all.
Like what?
Well, health problems.
That could derail everything.
Yeah, what if you can't work anymore?
Then you're really stuck.
Or getting laid off.
Yeah.
You're out of a job, your income's gone.
Yeah.
Or the economy tanks.
Yeah.
Your retirement savings could disappear.
Oh my gosh.
It's scary stuff.
That is scary.
It shows how risky it is.
Yeah.
To just rely on one income and the hope that time will take care of everything.
Okay, so we've seen the sidewalk.
The scary sidewalk.
We've seen the slow lane.
The dangerous slow lane.
Now let's cruise over to the fast lane.
All right, let's go.
What's happening over there?
The fast lane, it's all about control.
Okay.
You're building businesses that give you leverage.
Unlimited. Level.
Unlimited.
Okay.
The goal is to break free from trading your hours for dollars.
Right.
You want to build wealth fast
Okay.
through profits and growing the value of what you create.
So it's not just about making money.
No, it's a whole different way of life.
A lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It takes commitment, serious action.
You're not messing around.
No, you're not.
So what kind of mindset do you need for the fast lane?
You got to be a producer, not just a consumer.
Okay, so explain that.
It means you're focused on creating value for others,
Okay.
not just buying stuff for yourself.
Providing solutions.
Exactly. You're solving problems.
Got it.
And that's where the law of affection comes in.
The law of affection.
This is like the engine of fast lane wealth.
Okay, so what's the law?
Okay, so it basically says the more lives you impact,
Right.
the more wealth you create.
So it's not just about working more hours.
No, it's about making a real difference,
Okay.
either by reaching a ton of people,
Huge scale.
huge,
Oh.
or by making a huge impact on a smaller group.
Okay, so scale or magnitude.
Exactly.
Right.
So thinking about your business ideas,
Yeah,
where could you leverage those?
that's a good question.
It is.
Yeah, I like
It
that.
all comes down to value.
Okay.
The more value you create,
Uh-huh.
the more wealth you generate.
So instead of chasing money,
Yeah,
you're chasing problems to solve.
you're chasing needs,
Right.
pain points,
Yeah.
things that people are struggling with.
And the book really pushes back against the whole do what you love thing, right?
Yeah, he's like, that's a recipe for disaster.
Why?
Because what you love might not be what the market needs.
So you might end up broke and heartbroken.
Exactly.
Okay, so he gives that example of the martial arts studio.
Right, the guy loves martial arts.
Yes.
So he opens a studio,
Yeah.
but nobody signs up.
Yeah.
He's passionate, but there's no demand,
They demand.
no business.
Okay, so first, find the need,
Exactly.
then build the business.
Validate first.
Okay, so that leads us to the 5 fast lane commandments.
The rules of the road.
Hit me with them.
Okay, commandment number 1,
Uh-huh.
The commandment of need.
The commandment of need?
This one's foundational.
Okay.
Your business has to solve a real problem.
Okay.
A need that people have.
So you can't just start a business based on your hobby unless there's a market for it.
Unless people are willing to pay for it.
Right.
It's about market validation.
Got it.
Not just your personal preference.
Commandment number 2.
All right. The commandment of entry.
Commandment of entry.
This one's about protection.
Protection.
You need barriers to entry.
To keep the competition out.
Exactly. Like a moat.
Like a moat around your castle. So the violation here is getting into something where anyone can do it.
Like what?
Like becoming a distributor in an MLM.
An MLM?
Where you've got thousands of people selling the same thing.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
Unless you own the MLM company,
right.
You're going to be fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah. Too much competition.
Too much competition.
And he says, watch out for investments. Or everyone's like, oh, yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, everybody's doing it.
It's probably a bad sign.
It's a red flag.
Okay, commandment number 3.
The commandment of control.
Control it.
This is all about being the boss.
Of your own destiny.
Of your own business.
Right. You got to control the key parts.
Okay.
Your product.
Yeah.
Your pricing.
Yeah.
Your marketing.
Okay.
So the violation here is giving up control to someone else. Like a franchise.
Okay.
Where the franchisor calls the shots.
Yeah.
Or again, an MLM.
Right.
Where you're just a cog in the machine.
So you want to be the shark, not the guppy.
Exactly.
Driving the business.
Not just along for the ride.
Building your own brand.
Your own system.
Right.
Not someone else's.
Commandment number 4.
Commandment is scale.
Scale.
This ties back to the law of affection.
Right.
Your business needs to reach a lot of people.
Big scale.
Big scale. Or make a lot of profit per customer.
Big magnitude.
Big magnitude.
Okay.
The violation here is a business that's limited in its reach.
Right.
Like a little local coffee shop.
Okay.
Can only serve so many people.
Yeah, it's geographically limited.
Exactly.
Okay.
So remember, control is key.
To leverage that law of affection.
Either through massive reach.
Yeah.
Or high value per customer.
Got it.
And finally, commandment number 5.
The final commandment.
The commandment of time.
Time.
This is about freeing yourself from the clock.
Okay.
Building a business that runs without you.
So you can go to the beach.
You can go to the beach, exactly.
Okay.
It's about automation systems.
Passive income.
Passive income.
Right.
Money working for you.
24/7.
204/7, even while you sleep.
Okay.
The violation here is trading your time for money.
Like a regular job.
Like a 9 to 5 or a business that totally depends on you.
If you stop working.
The money stops.
Right.
So the book talks about planting money tree seedlings.
Money tree seedlings.
Yeah, things like rental properties.
Okay.
Software products, creating valuable content.
That make money.
Even when you're not working.
Okay. That's the dream.
It is.
So the book then goes on to talk about this whole supercharging your wealth plan thing.
Right.
With this crazy long acronym.
FASTLANE SUPERCHARGER.
I mean, it covers a ton of stuff.
It does.
But what are like the most important things for you?
Okay, so there are a few things that really stand out.
Okay.
That build on those commandments we talked about.
Okay.
First, educate.
Educate.
You got to keep learning.
About business.
Specifically about business systems.
Okay.
And how to stay in control.
Right.
He talks about using Life University.
Life University?
Yeah, turning your downtime into learning time.
Like while you're driving or at the gym or whatever.
Exactly. Then there's automate.
Automate.
This is about building those passive income streams.
So your money's working for you.
Not the other way around.
Okay.
And then replicate.
Replicate.
This ties into the commandment of scale.
Okay.
It's about creating a business model that you can expand.
To reach more people.
To reach the masses.
Got it.
So focus on those 3.
Learn, automate, and replicate.
Yeah, we'll be well on your way.
Okay, so besides the action steps, the book really hammers on the importance of mindset, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So what kind of mindset do you need to succeed in the fast lane?
You need a mindset that's ready to break the mold.
Okay.
To do things that most people aren't willing to do.
To be different.
To be different.
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable trading comfort now for extraordinary comfort later.
Okay.
You can't be afraid of failure.
Yeah.
In fact, you got to embrace it.
From your mistakes.
Yeah, failure is just a lesson.
Okay.
And you got to be smart about risk.
Right.
Calculate the downsides and the rewards.
Intelligent risk.
Not just jumping into anything blindly.
Yeah, no moronic risks.
No moronic risks.
Okay.
And maybe, most importantly, you got to take action.
No.
Now, don't wait for the perfect moment.
It'll never come.
It never will.
Yeah, just start.
Just start.
And the book also talks about this shift from like love to passion.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it comes to like the tough parts of building a business.
It's a crucial distinction.
So explain that.
Okay, so the book says doing what you love.
Yeah.
Sounds nice, but it can lead you astray.
If there's no market for it.
Exactly. You can end up with a hobby, not a business.
So passion.
Passion.
Yeah, it's different.
It's deeper. It's more resilient.
Okay.
It's a commitment to the bigger picture.
The why.
The why.
Okay.
And that passion.
Yeah.
Especially for the impact you want to make.
Yeah.
Or the freedom you want to achieve.
Yeah.
That's what will keep you going.
When things get tough.
And the love fades.
Yeah, when the honeymoon's over.
Exactly.
Okay, what about this whole idea of parasitic debt?
Oh, man, parasitic debt.
Yeah.
That's a killer.
How so?
It's like this anchor dragging you down.
Keeping you from the fast lane.
Exactly.
So what is it exactly?
It's all the debt you rack up.
From living beyond your means.
From chasing instant gratification. Like that new car you can't afford.
Yeah.
The fancy clothes, the gadgets.
The vacate.
All that stuff that makes you feel good in the moment.
But then you're stuck paying it off forever.
You're trapped in indentured time.
Indentured time.
Working just to pay off your debts.
So you have no freedom.
No freedom. No choices.
So the book says you got to control that debt.
You got to be ruthless with it.
Okay.
Watch your spending.
Yeah.
Resist those impulses.
Delayed gratification.
And remember, your free time is precious.
It's a limited resource.
Don't waste it on stuff you don't need.
Okay.
The book also talks about building brands.
Right.
Not just businesses.
Oh, what's the difference?
A business can be generic.
Okay.
It can get lost in the crowd.
Competing on price?
Competing on price.
Yeah.
A brand stands out.
Okay.
It has personality.
It's unique.
It has a story.
Yeah.
People connect with it.
They're loyal?
They're loyal and they're willing to pay more.
Okay.
So building a strong brand, it means figuring out your USP.
USP.
Your unique selling proposition. What makes you different, better than the competition?
And then you got to communicate that.
Loud and clear.
To the world.
To the world.
And he even gives tips on how to cut through the noise.
Yeah, the marketing noise.
All the clutter.
All the clutter.
So how do you do that?
Well, he says you can polarize your audience.
Okay.
Appeal to their emotions.
Yeah.
Be unconventional.
Shake things up.
Shake things up.
Be memorable.
Be memorable.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to be different.
Okay. And finally, the book warns against this thing called the Teckle syndrome.
Oh, yeah, the Teckle syndrome.
What's that all about?
It's basically opportunity hopping.
Oh.
Jumping from one business idea to the next.
Shiny object syndrome.
Shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
You get distracted by something new and shiny.
And you never really commit to anything.
You spread yourself too thin.
You end up with a bunch of half-baked projects.
Exactly.
So the fast lane is about business monogamy.
One business at a time.
Focus all your energy on one thing.
Make it a success.
And then maybe move on.
But not before you've built something solid.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here.
We have.
It's been a wild ride.
It has.
But the big takeaway for you is that you're in control.
You are.
Of your own wealth building journey.
You decide.
You don't have to follow the traditional path.
No, you don't.
You can create your own fast lane.
You can.
By solving problems.
Yes.
Building businesses.
Businesses that scale.
And ultimately freeing up your time.
That's the goal.
So as you think about your next steps.
Yep.
Use those 5 fast lane commandments.
As a filter.
To evaluate any business ideas.
Any opportunities you come across.
Really look at your current roadmap.
Yeah.
And ask yourself.
Is this really taking me where I want to go?
Does it align with your goals?
Your dreams.
For rapid and significant wealth creation.
And time freedom.
And start looking for problems to solve.
Needs to meet.
Pain points.
That's where the gold is.
Because those problems
are your opportunities.
So here's a final thought. Okay. This book really challenges the idea that building wealth takes forever.
It does.
It says you can do it much faster.
You can.
If you follow the fast lane.
If you're willing to break the rules.
So if the traditional path feels like a dead end to you.
A dirty, rotten alley.
What's your Lamborghini moment?
What's going to change your whole perspective?
What belief about wealth
do you need to let go of?
To open yourself up.
To new possibilities.
For the fast lane.
For the fast lane.
That's it for this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep learning.
And keep hustling.
See ya.
See ya.